नमस्कार, मेरा नाम है Arun Singh. आप देख रहे हैं NDTV and we are talking the Freelancer. Anupam sir, you've done over 500 films.
Yes.
And that's a lot. And of course, there must be some weight to it. And every time you walk on a set, I ask this from several senior actors that do you make a conscious effort to make others feel comfortable, or you think you just let it roll and then?
Well, I don't carry the burden of being Anupam Kher when I go on the set. I go there as a friend, as a newcomer, and I don't I'm not saying it just for an effect, but I really go as a newcomer, especially now in the last few years. And I do also understand that when I met senior actors when I was a beginner, that they made me comfortable. So certainly to go and say hello to everybody does make a little difference. But
you're aware that they feel intimidated?
No, I'm not aware of it, and neither today's generation doesn't feel intimidated by anybody, because I think they're okay to be nervous, and I'm equally nervous because at the end of it, I want to do my best. So it's not that any player, you get cricket player or hockey player or boxing player who has been playing for a long time is also taking it as the first bout or the first thing. So it's not really that. It's a perception, people's perception. But I like being Anupam Kher. I like being this actor who has done so much of work, and then be polite about this thing. But that's a nice feeling.
Let's also address the elephant in the room. You know, इस पूरी कहानी में हम बात कर रहे हैं एक terrorism की, जहाँ religion के साथ वो linked है. तो जिम सर ने जैसे एक इंटरव्यू में कहा था कि वो जब भी कोई कैरेक्टर को अप्रोच करते हैं वो आगे से एक evil Muslim का कैरेक्टर नहीं निभाएंगे. So that could be the territory that this could also go. Was that ever in your mind, or no, did you try to balance it? Okay, that I don't, as he said in his interview, that all are not good, but I am saying all are not evil either. So was there
no, not really, because it's like I was mentioning earlier also, it's been about 15 years now since we did our first film, and that was more or less a powder keg of whatever that you're talking about. All these elephants in the room, as you say, were not being talked about at that point of time, right? But we came out with a very strong point of view of what we think personally about what's going on in this world, the geopolitics of it. You can't ignore it. Okay. And I think that one should not treat it as an elephant in the room. One should talk about it.
And sir, आपके लिए, was that ever in your mind?
Filmmakers ने एक project उठाया है, तो जिन भी एक्टर की आप बात कर रहे हैं, अगर उन्होंने ऐसा डिसीजन लिया तो ये पर्सनल डिसीजन है. उस डिसीजन से हम पर ये ऐसा रिफ्लेक्ट करना बहुत जरूरी नहीं है. अगर आपको इविल दिखाना है और उसका प्रूफ है तो आप दिखाएंगे. उसको क्या बैलेंस करना. अगर हॉलोकास्ट पे फिल्म बन रही है और किसी को हिटलर का रोल करना है और बड़े बड़े एक्टर्स ने किया तो करना है. अब ये थोड़ा वो सोचेगा कि नहीं मैं इसको थोड़ा अच्छा सा बना के करूं.
नो, माय पॉइंट वाज कि आप एक एक्टर हैं, उसको ऑफ कोर्स एक रिएक्शन होगा. सो आई वाज आस्किंग, वर यू कंसर्न्ड अबाउट दैट? क्योंकि आपकी जो फॉर एग्जांपल कश्मीर फाइल्स,
देखिए जब मैंने कर्मा में बिगेस्ट टेररिस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के हेड का रोल किया था तो देयर वाज नो टेररिज्म दैट वे. तो अब मैं जब कर्मा देखता हूँ तो लगता है कि ये तो फेक था यार. इसको ये चश्मा ऐसा करता था, आज जो है टेररिस्ट है हम जैसे ही लगते हैं. तो आई थिंक इसमें जो हमारे सीरीज में जो टैकल हुआ है वो रियलिटी पर बेस्ड है. और नीरज इस बारे में माने जाते हैं कि ये रियलिटी को सिनेमैटिक तरीके से, बहुत खूबसूरत तरीके से, बहुत अच्छे तरीके से और बहुत सच्चे तरीके से पेश करते हैं.
आपका सर से पहली बार मिलना कैसा था? As we were talking about, he carries a certain experience. Was it intimidating? Were you?
No, not at all. I have been fortunate enough to know sir personally for a long time. But professionally, obviously, I got an opportunity to work with him, and obviously got to know him better. But he's somebody who is always himself, and he's such a legend and a senior actor. So obviously, from a personal perspective, you always try and be a little more respectful towards and try to observe and learn a little more from a senior person, because you always learn from good experiences. So I think he is just he's a charmer, and he doesn't go out of his way to make people feel comfortable or take an effort. He's not that kind of a person.
And we've just seen a trailer of what this actually looks like. What was the prep for you? Was it very intense or absolutely chill?
No, it was intense as well as, I think it was both way, because in my mind I was going to be a part of a Neeraj Pandey vision, so I had to give it my best. This was an opportunity for me to, because Neeraj sir was giving me a platform where I had to showcase my talent, and series like these don't get made very often, to be really honest. There are projects which happen a lot. There are a lot of projects, but a project of this scale, a project of this grandeur doesn't get made easily. And you, as an actor, it's your responsibility to give your best foot forward. So I tried it to give it my best.